well done, Dr. Hilary. At present, drivers over 70 are required to apply for a new licence every 3 years with no medical check.
No test either.
Required and no test.
They have to voluntarily declare if anything's changed in their medical history, which is quite right.
And do you have people come to you as a doctor and say, am I fit to drive? Because I think there are probably a lot of adult children who might be concerned about their parents. The way that you would get it checked would, you know, go to your GP check.
Sure.
Do you then
It's
say
very rare.
You've got the all clear?
It's very rare because all of them want to retain their independence. They want to stay driving. So I agree that the voluntary admission to the DVLA that something's changed doesn't often happen. It's probably not strong enough.
Although the law says you should, doesn't it? If you have dementia or if you have certain other conditions.
That's correct. And, of course, your insurance wants you to as well. Having said that, there are plenty of people over 70 who are quite capable of driving very safely, and all the evidence I have is that they're just as safe as young drivers, if not more safe.
Well, let's talk to Paul Britton, who is a criminal defence lawyer, just reaching the big 4-0, I understand.
Right, yeah,
Why, at 70, do you think you should be banned from getting behind the wheel of a car?
The data that's out, that's released by the government, does support that the number of collisions, if you take the top categories of collisions, which is not seeing, so failing to observe, in this case it's in the papers at the moment, is a great example, manoeuvres, loss of control, mental health or disability. If you take those categories together, add them together, the number of collisions, what you find is that there are more collisions in the over 70s than all the other age categories put together. So this is a dangerous area. There are 3,000 to 3,500 deaths or people seriously injured every year by an older driver over 70. If you look at the drink driving statistics, which we ban outright altogether, that covers all of the age groups. There's 6,000. Now, we're talking just the over 70s are responsible for 3,000 to 3,500 deaths or serious injuries every year.
These are averages, though, across a huge range of the population. And there'll be 40-year-olds who are terrible drivers.
17-year-olds.
17-year-olds, of course, but also 80-year-olds who will be great drivers. So it does seem to say ban everybody at 70. It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
It might be an extreme view, but we ban everyone below the age of 17 automatically. You can't drive until you're 17. And if we look at the categories that are most affected with the younger drivers, it seems to be things like excessive speed, which tends to be linked to youth.
Talking of younger drivers, if you look at the AA statistics, and they know a few things about driving, you're much more likely to be involved in a crash, 4 times more likely in the 17 to 24-year age group within 6 months of passing your driving test than people who are waiting 6 months before they give up driving altogether. So if you're going to ban over 70, you've got to ban young drivers as well.
I just don't understand the use of the word ban, though.
More cautious.
I mean, Dr. Hilary did a test yesterday. He passed,
with flying
and you
colours.
say he passed the test. Sorry, ban him. I mean, isn't that a bit sort of extreme?
The sample pool is one person.
We
haven't checked Dr. Hilary's credentials. I don't know if he's 70. He doesn't look 70 to me.
Thank you very much.
He's a human being with rights who might enjoy driving, might need to go to the shops, might need to take his partner to the GPs. Yeah. You can't just say, well, he's just one person.
Well, I mean
every person you ban is a person who's banned.
But, Ed, what you're doing, you're opening up the scope there a little bit more, because we talk about public transport. Public transport in the city, in London in particular, is excellent. Across the country, it's quite good. I live in quite a rural area. There's a bus every hour or so.
I have one a week.
You have one a week?
Public transport in a lot of rural areas is called the car.
The car?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's sad, really, isn't it? Because we live in a time where we're trying to reduce our carbon footprint.
Yeah, but let's not make over 70s bear the burden of cutting down on car use. Look, the point that our barrister, our lawyer has made, Paul, Dr. Hilary, is that there are thousands of deaths caused by this age group. Now, when people hear that and they see a 95-year-old man goes through a red light and kills a woman in a mobility scooter, it's quite an instinctive thing to think, actually, it's just safer to stop
I've been driving since I was 17, OK? I have a clean licence, I have a full no claims. And, you know, I think experience counts for a lot. I agree that we need to tighten up the rules for everybody. I believe everyone should be retested. I did my motorbike test 3 years ago.
At what age would you have the retest?
Every 10 years from passing your test for the first time. When I did my motorbike test 3 years ago, it made me a better, safer driver because I relearned what's new in the highway code.
Problem is, at the moment, the delays to get your first test at the moment are hideous. If you said to the whole country you've got to have a test every 10 years...
Well, if you're saying...
people will be waiting years.
If a car is a loaded gun and can kill people, why not do this?
At the very least, people should be going to their GP and get...
They should...
You know, when we do wills or powers of attorney, we send elderly clients to their doctor to get a letter saying that
I feel as though you're retreating from the ban here.
No, Paul, as you know, GPs are inundated with
been out on the road on a Sunday, Ed? Sunday drivers.
There should be visual checks, there should be balance tests, there should be reflex tests. But GPs can't do that, they're already overloaded. But somebody should be doing that.
I am standing up for older drivers.
Thank you.